Welcome to the Know Before You Go Travel Show, where we share all the latest travel tips, tricks, and insights to make your next vacation the best one yet. So sit back, relax, grab a cocktail, and enjoy the show with Penyak Travel's George Penyak and our senior travel consultant, Janet Penyak.
What is up, everybody?
Hey, everyone.
Welcome back to another edition of the Know Before You Go Travel Show, and we've got a show for you today.
Okay.
That might be my best one.
No, that was a little much.
But we got a show for you today.
Yes.
We're excited. Hope everyone is well out there, and hope, the summer it's kind of weird. Like, I feel like summer just got here, but now for some parts of the country, they're staring at the end of summer already.
Well, yeah, today is August 1st.
This is crazy.
Yes.
It's like because of the COVID stuff going on, everyone's lives have changed a little bit. Maybe it's going by fast. Is that a good thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it is a good thing. I'd like to just get this year over with.
I think we're all ready to get COVID over with.
Yeah.
We just got to get through this. But we're getting through it. We hope you guys are well.
Speaking of COVID, we took a COVID test yesterday.
And I'm not going to, I don't want to discourage anyone from doing it, but it was not pleasant.
Yeah, it's definitely not pleasant. So we're about to go to Antigua in 5 days, and their requirement for entry is you have to have a negative COVID test, or you can test when you get there, but obviously we don't want to risk that. So we took a COVID test yesterday. Actually already got the results back this morning.
We're negative.
We are negative, so we're good.
We never had any symptoms. We only did this so we could travel. So we're fine.
But it definitely was not pleasant.
No,
they shoved that thing so far up your nose. I think it touched my brain.
She was feeding it in like the Rotor-Rooter man. I mean, it was unbelievable.
And they have to.
I felt like she was a magician pulling. Magicians pull like stuff out of their mouth, like cloth out of their mouth. She was just feeding that thing in and out, and I was like. And
then they stick it up there, and they have to like get it just right, and then they count to 10.
Yeah.
At least she did count to 10 pretty fast, but. It was not the most pleasant thing, but
I don't want to discourage anybody.
It'll be worth it.
I think there's new testing where they just do like barely the inside of the nose, where you don't have to go all the way up
to your brain,
the nasal cavity. And I was like, gosh, you're going so far up there, it's going to go down my throat and out my butt. I mean, it was crazy.
Okay, that's a little much. Jeez.
Yeah, that was okay. All right, anyways, on to the show. But before we get into the show, we got some shout-outs.
Yes.
Some shout-outs. You guys have been giving us so much love away. Thank you so much for all the DMs, all the reviews. Just last week, we got thank you, Asian P, 5-star review on Apple. Thank you so much for the love. And I think I'm saying this right. Sklyson also gave us a 5-star review saying we're a bright spot in gloomy times right now with travel and just trying to give our best information out there. So thank you guys so much for those 5-star reviews. We're super grateful, and this is why we do it, to interact with you guys. Aisha sliding into our DMs, showing some love on the podcast. Thank you so much for hitting us up. And then Kim from Idaho hit us up as well. Thank you so much. And then you've got some quotes to do.
Yeah, we had 2 people reach out for quotes. Liz from Maryland, Baltimore area.
Shout out crab cakes. I mean, Maryland is known for their crab cakes, right?
I don't know, I guess.
But shout out to our Maryland family.
Okay. And then Rebecca and Brad from the Minneapolis area.
Penyak Travel fam coming in from Minneapolis.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much. No, we really appreciate it. And we've got a great show for you guys today. So if you want more information on anything we're going to talk about today, you guys know where to find us. Slide into our DMs, Facebook, Instagram, and then also you can go submit a quote request for some more information on penyaktravel.com. But today, what are we talking about?
We are going to talk about the difference between Sandals resorts and Secrets resorts, because obviously you know that we do a lot of adult-only vacations. That's just kind of the travel that we love because we don't have kids.
And we do a lot of families too, but we get a lot of requests though for, this is a common question I think we get
right,
asked,
but I'm also saying we travel mostly to adult-only places for the most part.
Yeah, just me and you.
Yes, and my favorite brands are Secrets Resorts and Sandals Resorts. And so we're just going to kind of run down what the differences are in them, because I realized we hadn't done that. And we were watching just some YouTube travel videos a week or so ago, and somebody had done a video on it. And I feel like not all of the information in there was accurate, at least not from our experience. So
we've been to all the Sandals and almost all the Secrets.
Yeah, so we've been to a lot.
We've nearly literally have stayed at nearly all of them. So I feel like it's an interesting perspective that we bring, and I felt like some of the information that we were going through on the internet, I'm like...
And so then we started to look it up online.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if they've actually been. I feel like there's a lot of information from people that haven't been. I was like...
I was shocked at the number of people that said that Secrets was for families. I don't know what Secrets you've been to, but...
You can't bring kids there. It's families is misleading. You can have a group of adults.
Yes, adults, but it is adults only. Yeah,
So anyways, we're just going to kind of, I guess, clear the air from our perspective. A lot of information out there. We're just going to share. Hey, we've been to these properties. This is our perspective, and then we'll share some pricing. And honestly, like to high level it, both are great brands. Like,
absolutely.
Like, I think what it's going to boil down to is your individual budget, needs, and wants.
Yes.
You have your wish list. You have your must-haves. And that's what's going to boil down to. But there are some pretty distinct differences. And because some people say, oh, well, Secrets is better because they're always cheaper, or Sandals is too expensive. And it's like, well, there's some... In relativity, you have to look at it big picture and dive into the details, which we're about to do.
Yes. So, when looking at both of them, they both are adult-only resorts. So, Secrets is for adults. Sandals is for adults. Sandals is family-owned. And then Secrets, they are under the brand management company AM Resorts, which is a part of Apple Leisure Group.
So, they're a much larger organization.
Yes, much larger. And so, when looking at Sandals, they have Sandals, which are adults only, and they have Beaches, which are family-friendly. When you look at under the AM Resorts umbrella, the different resort brands that they have are Secrets, which is adults only, Breathless, adults only, just like the party version, Zoetry, Dreams, Now, and Reflect.
So they have a lot, yeah. And so, but to go back to just Secrets versus Sandals real quick.
And also Sunscape. I don't see that on here, but yeah.
Yeah, so, but when we say adults only, I think the biggest difference there between Secrets and Sandals is Secrets is adults only. Sandals is adults couples only.
Yes.
You can't you can't have a room with, it's not
going to be 3 people to a room.
There's not going to be bachelor parties or bachelorette parties going on there.
Right.
There's...
It's a more romantic atmosphere, generally speaking.
Because you're getting couples only. And I think that's a big... For me, that's a big difference. So, like, for us, when we like to travel, when we're going for our anniversary or we went on our honeymoon at Sandals, we like that kind of intimate experience where it's only couples.
Yes.
Every table is for 2, and it just feels a little bit more romantic. Now, if you're going with friends, and then, you're dealing with a group of people with different budgets, and you're going as a group, then definitely I would say you could look at Secrets. Now, if it's a bunch of couples, then you could go to Sandals. But
yeah, absolutely. And I think, just real quick touching on weddings, if you are doing a destination wedding, no matter what, hands down, I think that Sandals has the best wedding people to work with if you're going to do a destination wedding, they are the absolute best because you can call them and someone will answer. Secrets, you have to email the resort, wait on a response back, and it's just a huge pain in the butt. So, I think Sandals is the best for weddings,
they
and
just make it a lot easier.
It's so much easier. It's a much more streamlined process.
And when you're planning a wedding, it's important to have these details.
Oh, absolutely. And so if you do say, well, I have, a single friend that wants to come, to the wedding, and they can come, you just have to get permission from the resort, but really you just put their name down twice on the reservation. But no matter what you do, whether there's 1 or 2 people in the room at Sandals, it's going to be the 2-person price. It's the same price.
Yeah, it's pretty much a per room price.
Yes.
That's pretty much what you're paying for, whether you're 1 or 2. And, some people with weddings, that they don't like that. They don't understand it. But to these properties and to these resorts, they're like, well, that's what I get per room, and we just need to achieve that because everything's on a budget. They budget by the year, and they know what they need per room to be able to pay for the food and all that good jazz. So that's traditionally how it works on the rooms. But I think for me, that's a big difference, like having potentially groups there and then having couples only. For me, that's a big difference.
Oh, right. Absolutely. Now, as far as
we like to travel.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Now, as far as locations go, so this is, huge. So Secrets resorts are in Mexico, Costa Rica, and then a few places in the Caribbean like Jamaica, Punta Cana, and then they opened a Secret St. Martin earlier this year, and then they closed it down because of COVID, and then they're going to be reopening it. But those are the primary destinations. Did I say Costa Rica? I think I did.
Yeah.
And then Sandals are in a little bit more unique, exotic destinations. So you have Jamaica, Antigua, the Bahamas, beaches is in Turks and Caicos. You have Barbados, St. Lucia, and Grenada. Yeah, I said Antigua.
Oh, you did, yeah.
Yeah. So it's, they're in more exotic destinations, which when you look at and compare resorts just based on price, you kind of can't, in my opinion, compare them and say, well, Secrets is much cheaper. Well, if you're looking at, Secrets in Mexico and then Sandals in Grenada, well, of course it's going to be, much less expensive. And so that's just one thing you have to think about is a lot of these more exotic destinations, they're just more expensive.
They're going to cost more. It's harder to get good. It's harder to get goods and services into there. It's more difficult to manage and run because it's an exotic small island versus a big country such as Mexico, or even Jamaica is actually pretty developed where they have resources there. But when you're talking about these remote resorts, then it's not an apples to apples comparison.
Right.
And so that's why I think hey, if you're looking for more, I don't want to call it budget friendly, but if you're looking for something that's going to cost you less, then I think you can go to Jamaica or Mexico, both Secrets
or Punta Cana. Yep.
Yeah, because Secrets and Sandals both in
Jamaica.
In Jamaica, in some of these areas, they're pretty comparable in price, pretty much.
Oh, yeah, if you look at the Secrets in Jamaica and compare that to some of the Sandals there, like Sandals Royal Caribbean, Sandals Ochi, those would be, price-wise, very comparable. So, that's what I just want to say, though, when you're looking at it and say, well, just altogether, Secrets is less expensive. Well, that's because, if you're looking at Mexico or Punta Cana, it's definitely going to be less expensive because those are less expensive destinations. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, and so on average, they will be less expensive. And there's also amenities and accommodations that you get with one that you don't necessarily get with the other, which we're going to get into here shortly. And that's a long list because there are these little subtle differences that do make a difference in your stay, and it's something you want to be aware about. Some areas you get added value, some areas you don't. And that's a pretty long list. We might save that for the back end of this thing.
I was going to say, you're going out of order here. I actually did kind of plan a little bit for this one. Well, I prepared a little bit.
I mean, we do always do like a little prep, but we don't edit anything.
Oh, yeah.
Unless I slip up and say a bad word.
Yes. So
family friendly, no bad words allowed.
Okay. So back to the topic. So generally speaking, the Sandals resorts, they have a smaller number of rooms. So you're going to have less people. It's a little bit more intimate. I'm not saying that as a blanket statement across the board, but just generally speaking. So Sandals Royal Plantation in Jamaica has 70 something rooms, and Sandals Grenada has 257 rooms, whereas Secrets Mall has 434 rooms. A lot of their resorts have, between 400, 500, 600 rooms.
Yeah, and as far as the feel goes, because you're seeing a little bit larger resorts on the Secret side, they don't have that quaint village feel. It's more of a resort feel where you have taller, I don't want to call them high rises, but you have taller buildings, you have more rooms in one building, where on average your Sandals properties are going to have little villages throughout, and there's some properties that their highest building's 3 floors, and they just have these little villages throughout the property, which gives it a little different feel. Not that there's anything wrong with either.
Oh, right.
It's really what you prefer. And also, too, you have some resorts on both sides that are, have big buildings, but on average, we're speaking on average. Of course, there's examples of both on each, but.
Right. No, absolutely.
And for the podcast, we're just trying to kind of generalize each one is what we're trying to do.
And then, speaking on the resort feel, at Sandals, you are going to have more dynamic room categories, so you have a much wider variety than you would at Secrets. So generally speaking, at Secrets, you're always going to have the tropical view room. You're always going to have partial ocean view. They usually have swim out, and then they go and they have all of those in the club level, and then they'll have a few top tiered suites like master suites.
Yep.
Now, as far as when you're looking at the Sandals, I mean, you can look at some of their resorts and there's 25 different room categories. But one thing I really like about that is because you actually know what you're getting. So you're not like, okay, I'm going to be in a junior suite ocean view. Well, I could be in building 1 through 8. Whereas, if you're looking at, let's just say, like Sandals Grenada, Pink Gin, Oceanfront, Penthouse, Club Level Room. Well, it's going to tell you, if you look at the map, exactly where that room is.
Yeah.
And so you know exactly what you're getting, and I think that that's important, and I like that. So
I think that's a good thing too, and also too, because it's a village style resorts, or most of them are village style. You just have all these different rooms all over the place, and all these different. All the buildings are a little different, so I think that kind of creates this different, feel for the property. You know what I mean? It's just, there's going to be more room categories because you have all these different style buildings.
Right. Absolutely. Now, one of the other big differences in the resorts is Secrets. You will want to bring money for tips. They expect it. And then at Sandals, there's no tipping policy except if you're in a butler level room. And, I think you can look at this on both sides. Yeah, because, at Sandals, it's great not having to worry about, do I have money? Do I have some ones? Make sure we bring that, with us. But then on the other hand, at Secrets, some of those people, you could tell, they were working for tips, and, they were willing and ready and willing and so quick to serve.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100% there, because at first, early on in our traveling careers, we felt, no tipping's the way to go. And I do like that too, because you show up and put your wallet away, and you truly do put your wallet away. Right.
Well, in just a quick example, like when we were at Unico back in June, we were like, oh crap, did you grab the money? Did you grab the more cash out of the safe? And half the time we would forget. So, there's that, it's kind of like, but there's pros and cons, I think, on both sides.
Yeah, because they want to earn a tip, so you're always going to get great service. Not that Sandals doesn't always give great service, but it's like, I don't know, there's something to it, So
they're more incentivized if there's tipping allowed, I think.
Exactly, but then also too, sometimes like a pro for Sandals on that is like when someone takes your luggage to your room for you. You just know you don't have to worry about it.
Oh, right.
Whereas, like, we've had it before where we were at Secrets and they would take luggage to our room and he just kind of
and then you just stand there and wait. And so it's awkward.
Of course I'm going to tip them, but it's like, oh, man, come on, don't make it awkward, man. Like, I've got you, It's like...
Yeah.
And so I could see it, but that's one that goes both ways. But
because at Secrets, it's like, even when you pull up to the resort and then the bellman comes out and gets your bags. So it's like you got to tip the bellman. Then you got to tip the other bellman who actually brings your bags to your room. And
you don't have to, but you
kind of feel obligated.
Yeah.
So it's just a difference in experience.
Yeah, it is. And I think it's just something, I guess if it were me and I had to boil it down to tip or no tip policy, I'd probably go with the no tip policy just because I love just not carrying around my wallet and or cash, just not worrying about it.
Right.
But then again, sometimes I have great, and I want a tip. Sometimes I want a tip.
Well, if we can have, oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart on his name. Rodrigo from Unico. Just stepping back to Unico.
My amigo Rodrigo.
Yeah.
By the way, Unico's not a Secrets property.
No, it's not. We're just mentioning it because that was our most recent travels. But if we could have him all the time, then that would be great.
Oh yeah, I'd pay extra for Rodrigo.
Yeah, absolutely. So another big
Rodrigo,
difference.
If you're listening, DM us, buddy.
Yeah, there you go. Another big difference is the airport transportation. So at Sandals Resorts, it is included no matter what room category you're in. It's always included. And then when you arrive at most of the airports, they do have their own lounge there as well, or they at least have a desk. So someone from Sandals will greet you at the airport. Now with Secrets, the transportation's not included, so you're gonna have to add that on. And then they don't have a lounge or anything like that or desk at any of the airports.
Yeah, and the lounge is nice, especially when you arrive. It's so great to.
Well, you can go in there and get some beer, rum punch, whatever for the road,
sandwich or something, and they have the local beers there at each one, which is really nice. So we do enjoy that. And it's just that's again one of those added little amenities that Secrets doesn't offer. And
right.
Again, the transfers fall in that same boat as well. So when you're looking at price, kind of think about that. Like, okay, well, maybe they are, maybe Sandals is giving a little more value here, so maybe they justify a slightly higher price on that.
Well, and I'll just tell you this, too.
What's an average transfer cost?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. It really depends on how far you're going. So, like, Secrets, Cap Cana, your airport transportation is like $14 per person round trip if you do shared. Now, if you're looking at, let's just say St. Lucia, Sandals in St. Lucia, the resorts are an hour and a half away from the airport. Your airport transportation there is going to be over $100 a person round
for
trip.
Sure. Yeah. 'Cause
So
some of these resorts are pretty far.
right. I know one, the Royalton, which would be, it's right next to the Sandals Grand St. Lucian, that round trip airport transfer, the one that I book is always, it's $115 a person.
Yeah. And then when you think about some secret properties where the resort's far from the airport, Cabo's a good example.
Yes.
Secrets, Los Cabos. That is
that's like
long,
45 minutes or an hour away.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And so, and I don't remember what we paid for the transportation costs for there, but just that is, another
It's
big
just a little something
difference.
to consider. Yeah.
So another thing is room service. So one great perk to the Secrets is that no matter what room category you're in, room service is available to you. Whereas at Sandals, room service is not available if you are in the luxury level categories, but it is available if you're in club or butler, except if you're in club at Sandals Halcyon, then it's not, you can't get it. But just other than that, it's available to anyone in club and butler.
Yeah, and see, I think that's a notch over to secret side right there.
Oh yeah, because then everyone
gets it. You know what to expect, and I think it would be nice to see Sandals kind of go blanket it and just say everyone gets it. But I kind of see their take on it. Say, hey, it's an added service. We want it to be in a certain room category or up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And by the way, full disclosure, we have gone to, as I said earlier, we've been to nearly all of them on each side. And we have enjoyed almost all of our stays at each one. So it's like, we're not saying that one is better than the other right off the rip and you should always go this and never go that. That's not the case. It's just, it
all depends on what kind of vacation you're looking for. Budget is a big thing.
Budget is a very big thing.
Because if you have $3,000 to spend, well, I'm going to say go to Secrets Cap Cana or one of the Secrets in Mexico, because your money will take you a lot farther in those destinations.
Absolutely. But if you have a slightly higher budget and you want a little more of an exotic experience or more of a remote island, you're going to feel much more that you've snuck away going to a Grenada or something like that.
Right. Speaking on that really quick, I did just run quick pricing for November of this year. No airfare. 5 nights, Sandals Grenada, $32.95. So Grenada, you hear us talk about that a lot because that is our favorite all-inclusive resort. And Secrets, same time frame, pricing starting at $23.48 for the 5 nights. So you're roughly $1,000 difference. But again, you're looking at Mexico and Grenada.
I was going to say you're doing Secrets of Mexico. You're comparing it to.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Just so you can see price wise, you're also paying for the destination.
Absolutely. And see, that's a big difference that I think people. So when you see, Secrets is always less expensive. Well, maybe not always, but on average, yes, because the destinations don't demand that high of a price.
Right, except for Costa Rica, because that one can be pretty pricey. But again, Costa Rica, that's a little more exotic place. So.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And too, when you mentioned Cap Cana, I love Cap Cana.
Yes, I know.
Secrets Cap Cana is it's up in my top.
It's very special.
It's up in my top 3 to 5, maybe top 3.
It's hard to keep track.
you start. I mean, you shuffle them around so much. It's like, ooh, I like.
Then you have one that's like fresh in your head. So yeah,
it depends on when you traveled. Yeah, because sometimes we're scared to even rank them. Like it gets too hard.
I mean, I still say Grenada has a very special place in my heart, and that is still my number one.
And see, with Grenada is the the destination helps.
Oh yeah,
like that. Like just Grenada is just the whole island as a whole is a special.
Yeah,
place.
because it's you're so far Southern Caribbean. It's not a very well-known and well-traveled destination from the U.S.
There's 100,000 people in Grenada. That's it.
Right. And, it's just not that touristy of a destination. It's not a well-known tourist destination.
Yeah, you will not see many cruise ships there.
Right. And so that's why I like it. It's just special to me.
And then you factor that in with the resort, because the resort is top-notch. It's like, okay, yeah, those two, that's a powerful combination. And that's why it demands a higher price.
Yes, absolutely. So going back to some of the differences, another difference in the rooms is the in-room bar.
This is a big difference.
And this is a big difference, and this is going to be better on Sandals'
this is
side.
a plus for Sandals on this one, yeah.
Because they're in-room bars. So if you're in, and you covered this on a recent podcast briefly, but if you're in the luxury level room categories, your in-room minibar is stocked with beer, wine, soda, water, juices, all of those. If you're in the club and butler level, then you also get 4 different types of liquor included in your minibar. Now, at Secrets, when you're in just the regular rooms, not the preferred club, your room is going to have beer, water, and soda.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
And I know a lot of people like beer. I'm just not a very big beer drinker.
Again, yeah. So if you only drink beer when you travel, then that won't matter to you. But this is where like your personal preference will come in, and sometimes we like to make a rum punch in our rooms at Sandals, and sometimes we like to have a glass of wine. And having that right there in the room, like when you're getting out of the shower or something, it's kind of nice, you know?
Yeah, no, I like that. And so at Secrets, in the club level, every time we've had club level, it's just been like one little small bottle of local liquor, and that was it. So,
yeah, it doesn't. They scale back the bar big time.
But there's no wine or anything like that,
which is a killer for me because that's again personal preference. So we love having wine.
I was gonna say, I'm sure if you've been a long time listener, you know we love our wine. We love wine.
We don't drink much liquor or beer, but wine we just love having.
Well, except on vacation, I drink liquor.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, vacay mode.
Vacay mode. But
vacay mode.
We like, a glass of wine. And, when after being out at the pool or the beach and, we're going to get ready for dinner, I like having a glass of wine when I get ready. And I like that I don't have to leave the room to go get it when you're at Sandals.
That's the thing. And it's, again, we're talking about these little touches that kind of make a difference for our style of travel. Now, we have a lot of people that book with us that like to travel with a bunch of friends. And I think that's where maybe a Secrets will be more appealing. You know? But for us, when we're traveling mostly solo, because we travel a lot for work, I mean, we do these videos. By the way, check out our YouTube channel. And so
small little plug there.
Yeah, small little plug, YouTube channel. We just got the Unica video up.
Yes.
So, but so when we're traveling a lot solo, just because for Penyak Travel, we're doing all this, it's just us. And so we kind of found our niche and our way.
Yes. Now, another good thing that both Sandals and Secrets offers is exchange privileges with nearby resorts. So, and that's not just a blanket statement across the board for Sandals. So like if you're staying at Sandals Montego Bay, not right now because of what's going on with COVID, but all other times you would have exchange privileges with the resort Sandals Royal Caribbean, which is 5 minutes down the street. And what I mean by exchange privileges is you can go to and then come back to your resort and enjoy all that they have to offer. So all their drinks, all their food, all their activities, entertainment, all of that you can enjoy at both resorts. And with Sandals, the transportation's included.
That's a big deal.
And at Secrets, you can do the same thing. You have exchange privileges and can go to the resorts, but unless the resort's right next door, then you have to pay for yourself to get there. So you have to pay for the transportation.
Yeah, and the one in Jamaica and Montego Bay is. The Secrets there is. And you kind of get the best of both worlds there.
Yeah, Secrets.
And you can walk. It's that close.
Well, Secrets St. James and Secrets Wild Orchid in Jamaica, it's one resort. It's just which building are you staying in?
Okay, yeah. That's what it felt like. But the restaurant, now, that one has phenomenal food.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to get into the food here in a little bit. But like that the food can definitely vary by property on both sides. But one thing that stuck out to me about Wild Orchid and St. James was the food.
Well, yeah, we can go ahead and talk about the food. So I think generally speaking across the board, they both have great food. Sandals has great food and dining options, and so does Secrets. I just think that the overall quality can vary among the Secrets resorts in terms of just food and accommodations, that sort of thing. I think that it can vary a little bit.
And I 100% agree because I feel like Secrets has 2 tiers of property.
And they do.
They have a more, quote, economical property, then they have their properties that can be more competitive with a Sandals, right?
Right.
Sandals, I think, is much more consistent in what you're going to expect when you show up, no matter what property you go to, when it comes to food and drink and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because unfortunately, we have gone to a Tier 1 Secrets property, I guess Tier 1, whatever the lower tier Secrets property, and the wine was borderline just...
Yeah, we talked about it. It's a great value, Secrets Royal Beach, and it definitely is a great value.
But if you're a wine drinker like us, we're like, oh, man.
Right, but then when you go to Secrets Cap Cana, the wine and the food was better.
Oh, man.
It's a better quality. And even the bartender, we were talking to the bartender about it, and he said, well, yeah, that's the lower tier, and then this is an upper tier. So you just have to...
And they don't advertise.
No, they don't advertise that at all. So you're not going to know that unless, you... Not to toot my own horn, but work with somebody like me, or work with another travel agent who is aware of these things.
Who's been there? Yeah, because you would honestly, both properties are fine because of the cost per property. But when you're talking about Secrets Royal Beach versus Secrets Cap Cana, you would go there and you wouldn't even think they're in the same company.
No, I think it should be a different resort brand.
Yeah, you don't even think it's the same brand because Cap Cana is like in our top 3 or top 5. It's way up there,
right? And
then Secrets Royal Beach is more of a budget friendly property. You still get a great value at, but you can't even compare it to Cap Cana,
right?
Like Cap Cana can hold up to any of the Sandals or any all inclusive out there.
Absolutely.
And so to think that they're in the same brand is crazy.
Yeah, so I just think that the quality level varies some amongst the secrets, whereas at Sandals you're going to get a much more consistent quality.
That's a very true statement. I think that's a very safe bet. If you're booking and you're looking at all these different properties, you're going to get something a little more consistent out of Sandals.
Right.
Like especially if you've been to one and you're going to get that.
Right. And then, both resort brands offer great entertainment. I don't really think that varies too much. I mean, all of them have, somebody singing or, a fire dancer, some sort of shows, I think that is all pretty comparable. And then activity-wise, on resort, it's also very comparable. Secrets and Sandals, I think you're going to get a lot of the same activities, except one big difference is scuba diving. Sandals, it is free if you are certified, and you can dive as much as you want when you're there.
Yeah, and Secrets, it's a cost.
Yeah, there's a cost.
Yeah, so again, subtle difference. So if you're a big scuba diver, you're going to dive a lot. Maybe look at a Sandals.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then one of the last things is nightlife. So you will tend to find that at Secrets Resorts, and I guess because they're not, geared towards couples and, romance and that sort of thing, all of them have some sort of nightclub or disco or something like that.
And it's a little more of a hip
right, where they have atmosphere. A DJ and that sort of thing. Whereas at Sandals, it's mostly... like piano bar or the pubs or something like that.
Yeah, something more couple friendly, obviously, right. Because it's a...
But I will say, there are some that, they get cranked up.
Oh, no, don't...
At night at Sandals. Sure. But just generally speaking, like you have a nightclub and a disco at Secrets, but not so much at Sandals.
Yeah, and I think that's probably because at Secrets you could have singles there. Like, I think you could have single people, because I think... It's very good for bachelorette parties or a girls' trip or a guy's trip. Secrets isn't a bad spot. So you might have a couple of singles in that group that want to meet people, right? So there you go. You have that atmosphere. Whereas Sandals, you're not going to have singles looking around to meet.
Right.
Like, I would hope not.
Unless you have like one lone wedding guest who's going to go rogue and try to hit on someone.
Out.
Yeah.
You're probably going to strike out at Sandals.
Yeah, I think you're going to strike out there.
We've seen some interesting stuff though at Sandals where we've seen people borderline fighting, threatening divorce and stuff. I mean,
oh yeah,
we had that one time, that one
St.
couple,
Lucia.
And then the guy was gone.
Oh yeah,
he
and
left
then the
early,
next day,
and she stayed.
Yeah, that we were sitting next to them in the pub, and he was screaming so loud at her.
It was uncomfortable.
It was so uncomfortable. And then it's like, you didn't want to just like get up and walk out because obviously he's freaking crazy.
He was going nuts. I was like, oh my gosh.
And I know we don't know what was going on, but at least just go do that in your room.
Yeah, like if you got a vent or you're having an argument, it was just bad. I was like, oh gosh.
Yeah, and then the next day, she was by herself.
She was by herself for the rest of the trip.
The rest of the time we saw her.
We never saw that guy again. again. I think he packed his bags and left. So I don't know who was at fault. We don't know anything beyond that, but we were like, whoa.
Yeah, that was in St. Lucia in 2018.
That's the only time we've ever seen it.
I was going to say, yeah, that's the only time.
It does not happen all the time. It's a very, you go enough, though, you're going to see people argue. And
oh, right.
So I don't know.
But yeah, so that's kind of a basic rundown. So I think, it really just depends on what kind of vacation you're looking for. And again, big factor is budget.
Yeah, budget's going to be a big factor. Are you going with friends? Are you going as a couple? Are you going for an anniversary? Or are you going, as a group? Or
right.
There's so many different variables there. That's why you can't really blanket it and say one's better than the other.
Right.
It really depends on, are you going for maybe a birthday trip with a couple other couples, or are you going for your honeymoon or anniversary?
Right.
That's going to make your decision a little easier.
Yep, absolutely. I agree.
But yeah, so we're about to go to Antigua.
Yeah, so we're going to Antigua in 5 days. I am very excited. I have not been in 6 years, and George has never been.
I've never been. You've been to all of them. This is one of the ones I haven't been.
You're getting up there, though.
I'm just about done with them.
I was going to say, you're just about done.
Yeah, you've already ran the gamut. I'm almost done.
Yeah, you're almost done.
Hey, question of the day.
Yep.
Question of the day. Question of the day. That might be mine.
Okay.
I don't have any. Like I said, we don't edit this, so I can't put any jingles in.
Okay. What is it?
Question of the day. Oh, yeah, I remember what it was. What is your... And I already know the answer to this, I think. Depending on what angle you use here. What's your favorite foreign food?
Oh, come on. Mexican.
I thought you were going to say that. I thought you might go pizza, though. 'Cause, you can't really call pizza foreign, though.
Oh, yeah, no. Yes, blanket statement. I absolutely love pizza, and I love Mexican food. Enchiladas and tacos.
French fries.
I'm just one unhealthy person.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm kidding. But no, I love, foreign food would definitely be Mexican. And then I force you to eat a lot of Mexican because of that.
Yeah, and I like Mexican. I got no qualms with Mexican. I like Mexican food, but that's not my favorite. What do you think my favorite is?
I would say...
How well do you know your husband?
I would say because I make you eat a lot of Mexican, maybe Mexican. Or... I guess if you were going to Asia, sushi.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, sushi's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
That's the thing. I can never, we sit at the sushi bar together and you get hibachi, and I'm like, I'm getting sushi.
Yeah, I don't eat fish, so.
I will cry. And every time we go to the hibachi restaurants at all-inclusives, a lot of times the appetizers can be sushi, and I just double down. I get your appetizer.
Yeah.
You just hand it right over to me.
Yeah, no, I'm not, like I said, I'm not touching that. I don't like it.
Sushi vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, and one thing I don't like, real quick, not necessarily don't like, but one thing I think that gives Secrets a little bit notch in my book is they do typically have some sort of tacos or Mexican food, whereas Sandals doesn't really have that. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Sandals doesn't have a Mexican brand, do they?
Mm-mm. I mean, they have Arizona's, but it's not like Mexican food.
Yeah, Mexican food is...
Yeah, so I like that. I like the chilaquiles in the morning.
Oh, I know. You love your chilaquiles. We were in Unico. You were chilaquiles every morning. I'm looking at that. I'm like, that's
and
lunch
cheese
food.
empanadas.
That's lunch and dinner.
I love tacos for lunch. That is my jam. I think I have some sort of Hispanic in me. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, it's great food, too.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
But so just speaking on that, that's one thing that I like about Secrets. So
yeah, and Unico, real quick, going back to that, if you want an authentic experience, Unico is not on either side of Secrets or Sandals here. Unico delivers a very authentic Mexican experience. If you want to go, that's in Mexico. We just got back from there. Food was phenomenal. The Mexican food was phenomenal, even to the point where they had the little crickets in the guacamole.
Yes, so crickets are a delicacy in Mexico, and
but you can take them out, or you can ask them without. I mean, it doesn't you don't have to eat them. You can ask for.
Yeah, George ate one. I'm not doing that.
I ate all three.
That's nasty.
There's 3 of them kind of sitting on top of the guacamole, and I was like,
and I don't mean nasty. That's just not my thing. So
I was like, I'll partake.
Yeah, no thanks.
I won't order them, but if they're there, I'm just gonna. I like to. immerse myself in the culture here. So I was like, I'm going to have that.
I can do that with enchiladas and tacos and chilaquiles.
The chilaquiles for breakfast, I'm like, I just can't do that. I can't get behind that.
That's really good.
I just
All
can't
right, we're
back
getting
it.
off on a tangent now, so
We're almost done.
I think we're done.
But I just can't back your chilaquiles.
Okay, that's fine.
So you ordered it every day. I'm like, I'm not touching that. That is lunch.
And empanadas.
Yeah, that is lunch food,
Okay.
not breakfast.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening.
Wait. You know my favorite... What's my favorite word in Mexico? Or in Spanish?
Eggs. Eggs.
Huevos.
Yeah.
Huevos.
Okay. Anyways.
Huevos.
Oh my God. This is getting way out of hand.
I need to press stop right now.
Yeah. If you want any more information on anything that you've heard in the podcast, please reach out. You can slide into our DMs or go to our website, penyaktravel.com, and click request a quote. It comes directly to my email, or feel free to call us 1-800-674-3278.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. We really appreciate the feedback we're getting. Thank you for the reviews. If you enjoy the show, we would love a 5-star review. Thank you guys so much. We will see you next time.